Hi, you're welcome back once again to the Villa Couture YouTube channel. Please, if you're new here and you've not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, like, comment, and share my videos. Today is going to be on how to sew the 6-piece skirt we cut in the previous video. So I will be dropping the link in the description box below. My center front, my side front, and my side front, I'll pin them together. So I'll pin both sides together. Then I'll be sewing it up on 1/2 inch from the waist to the hem of the skirt. Do same thing on both sides on 1/2 inch. Here's my lining piece, my center front, my side fronts. I'll be sewing it up on 1/2 inch also to the hem of the lining piece. Now I'm done with sewing my front panels, both my lining and my fabric, that's the right sides together. So trim off to make it equal as shown. So next thing now is to sew up my lining fabric onto my main fabric by 1/2 inch from that end to the other end. So I'm done with sewing it up now. So because my lining is 1 inch shorter than the main fabric, obviously, as you can see here, it's not equal at the waist. So you have to pull it up. So you pull up your lining to be equal with the fabric on the waist area. Then you can pin it to keep it in place. Then from that hem, you sew it up on 1/2 inch or by 1/4 inch. So I'll be closing it up on 1/4 inch on both sides. Done with closing up my lining. Now I pull it out to the right side. Next thing now is to fold my front panel into 2. Then I'll measure down 1 inch. Then I'll connect that 1 inch measurement to the end as shown. You do this only for the front piece or panel. So I'll cut that off now. So here is what you should have once you're done with that. Now here is my back, center back, and my side back. So there is my zipper position that I notched in the previous video. I'll be joining it on that area now, right sides together as shown. Then I'll close it up now by half of an inch. To the down of the skirt. So I'm done with sewing up my center back and my side back. So as you can see here, this is the added boot. So if you want to see how I cut out these pieces, check out my previous video. I'll be dropping the link in the description box. So here is a perfect way to cut a 6-piece skirt with an added boot. So I will just repeat same process I did on the front piece. So now I'm placing my lining fabric onto my main fabric, right sides together. Then I'll sew it first on the down by half of an inch from that end to as this end as shown. So I'm done with that now. I'll pull it up to the waist ends to make it equal as shown. Then I'll be closing it on both sides on 1/4 inch. So you start from the down to close it. I'll repeat same process for the other side of the back panels. So I'm done with sewing it up now. I'll pull them out to the right side as shown. After that, here in my hand is my front panels. So I fold it into 2 now. Then I'll place it onto the back panel. Now I'm marking out the zipper allowance I left while cutting. So now I'm taking my knee length. So whatever allowance I have left on the knee, you measure that same allowance down to the hem of the skirt as shown. So here is my front piece now. So the next thing now is to take my measurements on the skirt. Firstly, I'm taking my waist to hip line, which is 9 inch. Then I'm taking my round waist divided by 4. Mark it there. Then my hip measurements divided by 4. Mark it there. Now I'm taking my knee length again, which is 19. Then I'll be minusing 1 inch from the hip measurement. So I'm just rolling out my mark underneath the fabric on the other side. So whatever allowance you have on the knee, you take same measurements down to the hem of the skirt. So this is what I have when I open it up. Here is my back panels, so I place them together as shown. I pin it up now. Firstly, I'm taking 9 inch for my zipper allowance. Now I'll be sewing this skirt now on half of an inch. Then on the knee, I will follow my measurement I marked for the knee. Next thing now is to place both the front panel and the back panels right sides together as shown. Then I'll close it up following my mark, my measurements on both sides. Done with closing the sides. Now I'll be taking the waist measurements for my band, including the zipper allowance. Whatever I got there, I added 2 inches to it. So here I've cut out my band. I'll fold that up as shown. Then I will place it on my skirts. I'll be sewing it on 1/2 inch from that end to the other end. I'm done with sewing attaching my band now. Here is what the inside looks like. So now I'll be attaching a waistband, an elastic band rather, on the skirt. So next thing now is to measure from the side front seam. You measure it up. Then I'll measure to the side back as shown. So here's my side front seam line. Measure it down to my side back seam. So when I measured, I got 12 inches. I've divided 12 inches by 2, which will be 6. I added 1 inch, making it 7 for the sewing allowance on the band, on the elastic. So I'm marking the distance between the side front and the side back. So you place your elastic as shown, you pin it, then you place it on the other end as shown. So the first thing now, I will repeat same process on the other side as well. Please, I hope you have subscribed. Don't forget to smash on the likes button. Also leave a comment. Subscribe please, and let's grow this channel together. So now I'll be closing it up now as shown. I'm done with attaching my band, my elastic band. Next thing now is to fold in my band by 1/4 inch or by 1/2 inch, then further fold it again as shown. Then when you get to that elastic area, you stretch your band. So when you get to that part, you stretch it so it gets to the other end. And when doing that, ensure not to sew on the elastic. So you fold it and you sew on the fabric on 1/4 inch. So I'm done. Next thing now, to keep the elastic in place, I will further take it to the same machine now. Then I'll stretch out the elastic, then I'll be sewing on the elastic. So when doing this, ensure you stretch out the elastic very well and you sew on the elastic. This is just to further keep it down in place. You're only sewing from the beginning of the elastic to the end of the elastic. Now after that is to attach my zipper. So you sew it on one side and you sew on the other side as shown. Please guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, share and comment on this video. And please, if you have not yet subscribed, please kindly subscribe. Now I've sewn it. Here is the final outlook of the skirt. So thank you so much guys for watching. See you again on the next one. For now, bye.